Welcome to Extra Connections. I am your host, James Longini, here on JLJ Media, my online network, over 35 shows. Go ahead and check them out, anywhere from soaps to Star Wars, everything in between. So part of the in between is my show, Extra Connections. Oh, he's here for a second. And there he is. We're on Zoom, folks. This is the whole life of Zoom. So we're all on an even playing field. My guest, he comes from LA like I do. And he's sitting there sipping some tea, and I have my tea also. Of course, we love tea. I'm a little shady on this show. We love tea. But this show is all about people, places, things, and ideas. I'm going to talk to him. He has a coffee table book out called The Study of Dominic, and we'll say his last name in a second, by Jono Madison. It's a coffee table book. He also has the podcast, Jabba, which you can go on Spotify or iTunes, listen to that. Or is it? I think it's Apple Podcast now, whatever you say. But he has several things going on. We're talking about life, too. My new buddy, Dominic Albano. Dominic.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Happy Monday as we're filming this on Monday.
Happy Monday.
How was your Thanksgiving weekend in this strange Los Angeles town right now?
Thanksgiving, I was with a friend. I didn't really do anything. It was pretty low key. Yeah. But I'm not really a big holiday person. I'm just it's just another day. I feel like holidays are kind of depressing because everything's closed. This is before the COVID, just holidays are, it's just like, I don't know what to do with myself. The gym's closed, everything's closed.
That's true. You're right. Pre-COVID, things shut down. Like I said, for me, I work in the industry. It shuts down during this time period.
Yes, I know. It's so frustrating because it's like I want to do something.
Yes, I do understand that. Now you're somebody I follow you online. I follow your stuff, and what I like about you is you're very outspoken. You're very who you are, which I'm very much who I am. That's how I am in the public eye.
That's not always a good thing for some people around here.
Yeah, but I mean, were you always that kind of? Were you that kind of kid? Were you that kind of? Did you grow into this? Were you kind of much were like?
No, I was a weird kid. That's what people said. When I remember the first time someone said I was weird, I was in the 5th grade. And I wanted so badly not to be weird. And I was like, what am I doing? I'm not doing anything. And, as I got older, people kept saying it, but they used other words. Like some would say, like, if it was a negative thing, they'd be like, you're crazy. And if it was positive, they'd be like, you're very unique. So there was kind of like, well, they're all basically saying the same thing. And I just always felt, even now, that I'm just like normal person. I don't think I'm, out there.
Cuckoo. No, wait, Dominic, you actually bring up something that's very interesting, because actually taking a word or taking a feeling or something and changing the word, very interesting. You're right, it's still all the same thing, but just changing that word to "you're so unique" or "you're so special," as opposed to "you're so crazy," "you're a strange person." That's right. I never done that before. And so you just said
now people say you're so intriguing, or they'll say you're an enigma, and I'm like, I'm not an enigma. I just say what I feel at the moment. That's not the definition of an enigma.
Yes, I know. Yeah, I guess that's what you're not. I don't think you're an enigma at all either. I feel like you do say you are. We see what we get. I feel like people who are an enigma play the game so that they can be an enigma. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. Very true. You and I have been around a while. We know what's going on.
I haven't been around a while. I'm only 15.
That's right. You're young and tender. I forgot. That's right. That's right. I was young and tender once too. No, but we get. I feel like you size up people. You get them. I feel like you get the psyche of folks in general.
Did you read my blog?
I did read some of your blog. Yeah, I did.
Oh gosh.
I did my research. Folks. But yes, that's why I say that, because I feel like you do you're good at gathering what people are about.
Right. I think so. I hope so.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it also sometimes leaves you without any friends because you see what's really going on.
I'm gonna tell you, the circle gets smaller and smaller as you get older. Trust me. I was told that when I was in my 20s. Like, oh, James, by the time you're in your 40s, it will not be the same. I'm like, no, I have all these friends. They all love me. We're all together.
No. I've never had that many friends because I think it's my own choice. And I feel like people really annoy me easily. And I always say, in relationships, I'll start seeing the red flags and I'll like get out early. So I feel like, I don't know.
Well, I used to be called too cold. I would cut people off in a second if I saw things.
Yeah.
Or not looking for problems, but when I saw a problem, I went exit stage left. I mean, I didn't stay in the problem, as some folks will do.
I had an issue with my business partner recently, and I had that urge. But then I was like, no, this relationship is probably more important than a marriage. You can't just walk away from a business partner. So that's really, something that keeps you trying to stay in the situation. And sometimes staying in and figuring it out is actually better.
That's true too. You're right about that. You're right. When it comes to business, yeah, it's slightly different, yes, than just a casual friendship that you hang out with every once in a while or whatever. But then there are some friendships. Again, I feel like are more than relationships. Also, that when you break up with a friendship, oh my goodness, it's devastating. Certain friendships. I mean, I had a couple that we were friends for like 20 years and broke up.
Oh wow.
And it was devastating. Like you would have thought we were dating, so to speak, but we weren't. We weren't. So I think so. You're right. There's all kinds of relationships. There's something very important there. And
I was in a relationship in New York, and then I just moved to get away. It was probably not the best decision, but.
Well, do you like it out here though? Do you like it out here in California?
Yeah, I do. I like it.
Why LA and not San Francisco or San Diego?
San Francisco. Nothing's happening up there, I don't think.
Yeah, I love that. I used to live there, so
it's good for a long weekend, but nothing else. Right? Am I right?
Actually, you're right. And it's too expensive anyway, so. Yeah. But that's kind of fun the way you said that. Yes, but LA's good. No, LA's good. We got great weather most of the time. You got beach, mountains, whatever you need nearby. We're good. We can't go anywhere, but at least we have it when we can.
Yeah.
But do you think being in New York actually informs how you are in terms of your personality and how you are to people?
Being from New York?
Mm-hmm. Being an East Coaster or being on the East Coast? I feel like it's different vibe there.
I don't know. People tell me that, but I feel like people are the same everywhere. Okay. Because when I was in New York and I was telling people I was moving here, they'd be like, oh, people in LA are fake and flaky and they don't have a job. And I'm like, that sounds fun. And I was like, I think I'm up for the challenge. But then I had some other friends who were like, you are so LA. And I'm like, what makes you say that? And they're like, because it's like the middle of winter and you're wearing a tank top and like, and I'm like, well, it's comfortable. So.
And it's LA.
But I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe I've got the New York kind of coldness or something. Like if someone, it's not, people here aren't friendly, are they? They're just normal. I don't feel like it's not like Texas or something, is it?
No, actually, here's what's funny. So because my mother's from New York, I live in San Francisco, I'm from LA. So I've seen all three, the major cities everybody talks about. And on some level, I kind of agree with you that most people are kind of same everywhere. There are everywhere. There are phony people everywhere.
Plus, they all come from somewhere. Right. They don't just change overnight once they move.
That's true. But I feel like East Coast, because I love East Coast folks. I love my family and everything because they're much more direct than people in LA.
Oh.
I think that's a difference. LA folks aren't always as direct.
Well, I like that though, because here there's no conflict. So in New York, if someone cuts me off, I'll be like, hey, watch it. And they'll be like, what'd you say to me? And then here I say, hey, watch it. They're like, okay, sorry.
That's true. That part's true. Yes, that is true. But no, in San Francisco, they hate people from LA. They hate Southern Californians. And I'm like, and now they've never even been here and they hate us. So I would bring them here and I go, well, everybody's so nice in LA. I'm like, well, everybody's minding their own business in LA. I'm like, well, yeah, everybody's trying to hustle here in LA. That's why everybody's doing stuff. So they found.
Wait, I think people stare more here than New York.
Yes.
I wasn't, in New York, you're just like, you're on the go and you're just focused on yourself. And here, I'm just like, am I wearing something wrong? Like, why are they staring at me like that? So I stare back and then they like grab their crotch or something.
Oh my God. Now I want to walk down the street with you one day, just in LA to see just what happens. I just want you. It's like, see, everybody starts grabbing their crotches. You walk down. That'd be a great skit, actually. Just walking down the street, I wasn't just grabbing that's their hello to you, just grabbing their crotch. No, okay. So one thing I want to ask you, because I've never asked before of anybody. I've done hundreds of thousands of interviews, whatever.
Sure.
I never asked this online because I follow you on Instagram, follow you online. First of all, it's like a two-part question. One, how do you view Instagram and the online world in relation to you? How do you view it?
In relation to me?
Yeah, like what is it? What is it to you? Is it an extension of you? Is it a job? Is it like what is it? What is online?
It's a job. I mean, look, I feel like social media people, like I'll go on I'll date or something. They're like, oh, what's your Instagram? And I'm like, no. I just met you. We're not doing that. And I'm not going to follow you back. Okay. So it's like, I just feel like people make it such a part of their lives that, they're on there all the time. And it's, for me, I don't have a personal Instagram. This is for my business, my work. And I feel like because everyone is an Instagram model or something, that's why I wanted to branch off and do things off of the internet. I wanted physical things like my book, my podcast. Not everybody's going to have a book or a podcast, but everybody has a social media. So I wanted something to separate me from those people.
So I like that. So going by that must mean every picture you post, there's a reason for it. Clearly, it's a reason to promote you, right?
Right. Okay. I mean, not always, but sometimes, like for example, there's a video of me right now cleaning the toilet.
I love that video. I love that video. I love it.
There's a reason why I posted it, but it's not. I mean, yeah, everything has a reason, but not. It's it's all has a reason, but it's not all work related. But I'll usually delete the stuff later that's not work related.
Okay. I was curious because I always curious people who have an image and they present. Because everything I post is for a reason. I know everything I post is for a reason most of the time. I mean,
so with the toilet one, someone called me. They said something like, "You're so calculated. You want to do that whole LA like glamour, and you want your image to be squeaky clean, like you're perfect." And that's not true. So I posted a video of me cleaning the toilet.
Oh, okay. And your caption was like, everybody has to do it. You were saying that. I was like, that's what I thought. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. I get it.
It's basically me saying F you to somebody.
Yes, I'm all help them. Who said it? No kidding. Just kidding. But that makes sense. So the way it was for a reason, though, it's for a reason. No, I just always wanted because you're very, very photogenic. I want to say that you're a photographer. It's great. You did a great job. I actually like you with just the mustache, the retro kind of.
You do.
It's back to my young days when I was a baby, so to speak, coming to terms with things. That was the image I saw. That was the current image.
Yeah, so like Tom of Finland stuff, right?
Yeah, I love that. It looked good. It looked good on you. I never thought. I mean, I didn't know if it would translate, but it did. It did. It's totally translated.
I mean, look, there's different kinds of mustaches. I feel like mine is like a John Waters or something. But what about the Tom Selleck mustache? How is that so thick and so big?
I know. It's like a caterpillar on his thing. I can't even grow that kind of mustache that thick. It's really. I mean, it must be his genetics. Obviously, he's from Eastern Europe or somewhere, and it just because some beards, my beard is can get thick at some point, but it's very thin, and some folks just grow these full-on Santa Claus beards. It's crazy, but no, I like to get different looks. So that leads me into. I was always curious because I always see people out there who have the image where they're putting out stuff for work, and I always wonder if it's all just, if it is calculated or not. You're like, we're gonna put out this picture of this to promote something.
Right.
Makes sense. The book. So how'd that come about?
Right. So like I was saying about that social media, I was like, you know what? I'm doing all these things now. I came into modeling at a time when everything was like already digital, but going more digital.
Yeah.
So, things were digital at the time, but obviously the direction it was going was, magazine print was, starting to die out even more than it already was and everything. So I was like, I want something physical, like a gallery exhibit or like a book or something. I want something like that people can touch or see or visit, you know? And so I had just moved here, and I was friends with the photographer John O. Madison, who does my podcast. And I said, hey, do you want to do a book? Because he already does books already, like soft cover books. Yeah. And I said, but it could be just me, because his other books have tons of different models in them. Yeah. And he was like, thought about it. He's like, yeah, let's do it. So we took about 6 months to shoot it. We went to, Venice Beach, and we shot at my apartment when I moved here. And then the book came out in May. And what was the question?
No, you're good. So let's go from there. No, you're doing good. So you're going there. So that's what I was going to ask you, how the process happened. So basically,
right.
Pictures. So how did you? What was the concept? That's what I want to know. Actually, what was your concept?
It's his style, really. He's he wants it to be like a doll almost. He wants to make the subject like a doll, and he likes transforming the models. He's more of like a digital artist. Like everything, all the juicy stuff happens after the shoot and post. Yeah. So he just wanted me to be in like sensual positions, but he never wants to see the front. He only wants to see the backside. And so there were some photos where I would tuck it and cross my leg over, and it would be very feminine. But that's the kind of the look he likes for his men. Yeah.
Yeah. How hard was it to actually go through all the pictures and pick the pictures that would go into a book? Because I know what it's like to do.
I had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
I had nothing to do with it.
Okay.
Some of the pictures I don't like them. And other people think that the ones that I don't like are the best ones. So it's really, yeah. So I had no idea. I hadn't seen any of them until it was released.
Wow.
I had no insight ahead of time about what was going to be released or how many pages, what the cover was going to be like. But I have it, and I was happy.
Yeah. What did you learn about yourself during the process?
Learn about myself?
During the process.
I didn't really learn anything, but I can see that I've grown as a model.
Okay.
Because it was a 6-month thing.
Yeah, I was curious. Like it took some time.
I could see like the styling got better.
Okay.
Like because at the first shoot we did, we didn't know it was for a book.
Oh, okay. It was just
we were just shooting, yeah. And because I had just moved here, and he was like the only person I knew. So we were shooting and catching up and everything, and then after the fact is when I said, let's do a book. And so he withheld those pictures for the book, because we don't want anybody to see what they're going to be buying ahead of time.
Right.
So yeah, I think the styling got better. But as a person, I don't think I did. Posing, I think I got better with posing. And then just when I think I'm at my best, I keep getting better. So, yeah.
What does he bring out of you for a good picture, do you think? You look at between photographer and subject. I mean, I've been photographed. Certain photographers got nothing out of me. There was no chemistry. You have to have some you have to have some kind of chemistry. I saw my best pictures were for folks I had chemistry with, so to speak. I mean, I'm not talking sexual. I'm talking like just there was a chemistry. He got stuff out of me.
Right.
The camera doesn't lie. I mean, the camera just doesn't lie.
Yeah. Look, I've worked with a lot of people from all over, and each time I go in open to how they want me to be.
Got it.
And that's why all my photos are different. Everyone tells me that, that
they are different.
They're versatile. They're very versatile. And so, I could go and see someone and they want me very stiff, like minor movements, and And then there are some people who want big things. Like, I want you to like walk, now smoke a cigarette, now, move your body around. Some want me in a more feminine type of way. Some want me in a masculine. Some want me more like all muscled up and oiled up. And then some people just want me more like lean, athletic look. So I always go in just letting them take over as the director. And with Jono, for the book, I felt comfortable with him because I knew him previously, but he's good at positive reinforcement during the shoot. So he'd be like, but he's also very particular, even about a finger. No, close your finger. Now open this one. Now cross this finger over. Now put it on your chin. Now turn to the right. Open your lips a little bit, and he's very meticulous, but at the same time, when you do it, he'll give you positive reinforcement, and that always feels good.
Oh, and
it makes you want to please him. As the director, he gives you that feedback, and it's just like, it's like you just got $1 million, it's just like you want to be good because they're just giving you this positive reinforcement. So it makes me want to be good for him and, listen to what he's saying and his vision.
I also like that too, because it's like, direct me. Tell me what you want. What do you want from me?
Some don't. And some people will you'll come in and, they'll want you to just go. And I always say, like, I'm actually very shy as a person.
Oh.
And so when I go in, and like if they don't not telling you, and there's like a hairstylist, a wardrobe stylist, hair person, some helpers, people, I'll just be like, hey, can you guys not look at me? Because I just get so nervous, and I just like, I can't be myself. So I have to just pretend they're not there, or ask them to look away or something. And and I guess I just have to, get into it, because the first probably half an hour, the shots probably won't be that good.
How interesting. Okay.
Because I have to like work into it, start talking to the photographer and, asking questions about, oh, so where do you live? And like becoming friends with them. And then once I feel comfortable and safe in that environment, then I'll be more open in the photos. And you can see that.
So the camera doesn't lie. I always say the camera doesn't lie. I mean, it really doesn't. So do you have to surrender whatever things are out there for a picture? Like, if you do, like, in our community, you're too femme, you're too this, you're too that. When you're doing a shoot for somebody, you surrender all that, don't you? It's for that, whatever that campaign, or for that thing, or for that post. It's whatever it's for, right?
Right.
You don't worry about the, I look too girly in this one, I look too this and this one, I look too, you don't worry about that kind of stuff.
Well, not things like that, but I might be like, what, shit, I wish my hair was not like that in the picture. I don't know. If it's like, sometimes you don't see the photos for like 2 months after the fact,
right.
And my hair has changed, or I've gotten a haircut or something, and I said, shit, I wish that my hair now was like that then.
That makes sense, because you're a person who changes your looks all the time. So I'm sure that's something that it would be interesting. You're like, oh yeah, 3 months ago when I did that shoot, I had long hair and I had to be like,
Yeah.
Now you're done. Now you're done with that. Now I want to move on to your podcast, because everybody has a podcast, right? Everybody has a
right.
podcast. So I want to ask you, what made you decide to get to? I mean, I know part of you said was to diversify, do other things, which I love that idea. But what got you doing a podcast?
Well, so I have to cough really quick.
Get it out. We're safe.
Excuse me. So what?
Why a podcast?
Yeah, I'm trying to think about that. So my manager had called me.
Okay.
And this is so funny. He says, I was just talking on the phone. I had like 2 energy drinks. And I was just like, blah, blah, blah. I was just talking. And I was like, oh, did you hear about these, the Grey Gardens? Do you know Grey Gardens, this movie?
Yeah.
So I was telling him all this stuff. And then, anyway, so he was just like, Dominic, what are you on? And I'm like, oh, I just had 2 energy drinks. He's like, I can tell you're like on Coke or something. And he's like, you need to stop. And he's like, but you're very interesting when you're not talking about yourself. And I was like, okay, thank you. And he's like, you should tell all of these stories on a podcast. And I was like, yeah, maybe not these stories exactly, but
right.
I mean, yeah. So I was like, I need a co-host. And he's like, no, you don't, just you. And I said, no, it's always just me. I don't, I want someone to bounce off, someone I have chemistry with, someone that I know, someone who it's not going to feel like a competition. And I thought of Jono, and he's a photographer. I'm a model. What are we competing?
Yeah.
And so I called him up, and he was like, yeah, let's do it. And my manager was like, oh gosh, I don't want you to have somebody, And then when he heard the first episode, he was like, I'm glad you did. Yeah.
You were right. And it's, I mean, I do some things myself, and I do some things with co-hosts. And there's something about having a co-host. There's something about that give and take, back and forth, whether it's the banter or a debate or whatever it is. It's kind of nice that people relate.
How do you think we sound together? Are we like?
You're two very different sounds. That's the one thing.
Right.
I'm a producer, so I'm like, okay, I like that there's a contrast between your voices. Number one, so you can distinctly tell who is who. What you have to do when you do audio, you have to like be able to discern who's the one talking. I know when you're talking. I know when he's talking. I totally get this. So that's number one. That's great. You need that. You need to have very distinct voices. And you are. I mean, I like you as a host because you're very much you're upbeat and you tell like it is. Well, we say your cadence is very much like just you're on it. You could tell you're on a podcast. And that's why I like your style on there. You just talk about it. You guys go back and forth. You talk about you let each other talk, which is another thing that some hosts don't do. They talk over each other.
Sometimes you get excited and you just want to interrupt,
that's
like
true.
I just did.
But ding ding ding. No, but no, it's true. But you know what I mean? There's some hosts where one will, like you said, competition. One will dominate the other in the conversation. Like I want more lines than you do, so to speak. I gotta make sure I get the last. That kind of thing. It's like, well, no, it's
right. Do they act? Does that happen? Do they say that stuff to each other?
I've been doing this for years. I've seen Dominic. I've seen it all. Trust me. I almost slapped a co-host online. Trust me. I know all about. I mean, it is like all kind of stuff happens behind the scenes. Trust me, and on air.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I was at AfterBuzz TV for 6 years, and a lot of stuff happened over there in North Hollywood. There was a lot of stuff. But yeah, so it does happen. So I like, but most fans will say, I won't be able to hear people talk. I want to hear I'm tuning in to hear I want to hear what Dominic thinks. So yeah, you see the title when you click on, you see what the show's gonna be about. Well, now I want to hear Dominic talk. You see relationships. I want to hear Dominic's take on relationships.
What did you think about that episode?
One thing I learned about you is that you have very definite ideas about relationships.
Than you or him?
No,
in general.
Well, it's not even that. It's not even like it's not even like a versus. I'm sorry, I mean set up that way. I mean, it just meant that you have a very definite view on how you view relationships. That's how I meant to say it. Like you have a definite view.
Oh yeah. Right.
On because you're explaining stuff to him, and he was like, well, yeah, I guess you're right. Because you're like, okay, about monogamy and things like that, and looking at people, how you're very defined on how you look at what a relationship should be like in your life. I appreciate it because I get to hear your point of view. That's what I want to hear. What does Dominic think about relationships? Because I want to see what he's thinking, and maybe it aligns with what I'm thinking, or maybe it's different. We think different things, but that's not neither here nor there. I mean, it's fine. But I want to hear your point of view. It's like I want to hear it. So I thought it was very interesting. But I also thought I kept thinking the whole time, does he ever censor himself on this show? Because I don't know if anybody he knows knows means like your personal life listens to your show or not. So I don't know if you ever said. So that's a question I was going to ask you: is there anything off limits or no?
No.
Yeah.
Look, I don't care. I mean, if someone doesn't like something, it's it's their problem, right?
Right.
It's not my problem, and so one time I asked my mom, "Hey, what happens if I bring two guys home, and said, hey, this is my boyfriend, this is my boyfriend." She goes, I'd say, come in, lunch is ready. And I'm
okay, I like mom.
But yeah. So I don't know. Yeah.
Well, we're saying that we all as when we do these type of shows where we're talking, having a conversation, not like a specific like after show for a show when it's our own. That people sometimes they censor themselves, like, well, this is off limits. We can't talk about this because I don't want
Right.
someone to hear it, or they make color the way they look at me. And I say,
I don't care.
I'm the same way.
But you know what? I don't talk to my father or his side of the family. And my grandfather, who I actually adored, he passed away in 2018, but nobody had told me. Nobody told me about it.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm estranged from the family. I don't talk with them since I was like a teenager. And so I don't know what's going on. But when my grandfather was close to his death, he made a Facebook, no pictures, nothing. And he would like go on and he would like my photos. And, you know, it was kind of like, okay, I think he would, you know, he knew his time was ending and he wanted to check in on me and see how everything was going. And when he died, till this day, the Facebook goes active. And I think it's his wife.
Oh.
I mean, I know it's his wife. It's his wife, my grandmother. And I think she is basically spying on me. It's either one, she cares about me, but she just is a very cold-hearted person. She doesn't know how to show it. And this is her way of checking in on me. Or two, she was always worried about the family name. And I mean, she's going on to make sure, I mean, she can't reach out and tell me what to do, but it's like her way of inserting herself and having as much control as she can. And I'm sure she's mortified that I'm out there, you know, naked on the internet with her last name. I'm sure she's livid about it. But it's a very freeing thing. I feel like not being disconnected from them. Like if you're a part of a community or a group of friends, and if they don't like something, you're so afraid to fit in with them that you will accommodate them. But when you're not, you don't care. There's not, what are they going to do? And that's with my family. I think I think it annoys her and bothers her that I never really listened. She could control everybody else in the family but me. And when I finally left the family, what is she going to do?
That is interesting. I'm obviously I'm James Locke Jr. I don't have my father either, that side of the family. And so it's kind of, and he's on Facebook, and I know he sees some of my stories. He looks at some of my stories. I kind of like it because I don't do anything super outrageous, but there were times I've done silly stuff on there, and it's kind of fun to say he saw it, but he can't do anything about it.
But you know what? Do you ever post things specifically for him to see?
A few times I can say, I can admit that. Yes, a few times I've done that. Yes.
I did a blog post about, this is when she was like, because I know where she lives.
Okay.
And when I go to my blog at the, what is it called? The analytics?
Yeah, analytics, yeah. It tells you.
I can see, yeah, it tells me. People all over the world go to my website, my blog. Yeah. But I saw something interesting where my grandmother lives. And I'm like, no one else is there.
Right.
So I'm like, she's going on, she's reading it. So I'm like, I'm going to do a post on family. And I did. And I'm sure she read it.
Yeah, I will admit, I've never admitted this before. You got me to admit something, but I did a show on being a junior to an estranged father.
Oh, did he see it?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I mean, it showed the analytics, but he lives in LA, so I mean, it's could be because I think I wish it was a small town like Grenada, Kansas, or something. I go, oh, that's you, but no, he's in LA, so I mean, I don't know, but I think he's seen it. I think somebody told me he saw it or watched a little bit of it or whatever. So I mean, but I did I posted everywhere. I would post it everywhere, but I posted everywhere. With the title, James Lott Jr., all these things. So I did. I
think that's when people say I'm calculating. I think that's that's an example of. I mean, I don't see it as calculating.
Well, wait a minute. But are we all? I mean, we're all calculating. If you go by that word, calculating, we're all.
It's such a nasty word,
right? We're all thinking about moves, aren't we? We're always thinking about stuff. I mean, it's not really unique to one person. I mean, we're all thinking about certain things, about certain people all the time. We make moves based on all kinds of stuff. I would think. I mean, I don't think it's like you're sitting there at home with you're stroking a cat, going, "Oh, I'm gonna get them." I mean, you're not doing that.
I mean, for me, it's not like a chess game. For me, it's basically trying to let her know in this particular situation, how I'm feeling and the betrayal that that I felt from her and the family, you know. But anyway.
I like that. I like that. Oh, thanks for sharing that. Well, I want to ask you, I mean, so what you look at yourself now, these days, who you are today, how would you describe yourself?
Today?
Yes. Oh, you're hilarious. First of all, you're hilarious, but I didn't realize how funny. I didn't realize how funny you are. You are really funny.
I'm funny. How?
You are. You're funny. Okay, but yeah, yes. Today, sir, how would you describe yourself today?
I think I'm more. I'm more like secluded. I think not because of the pandemic, but just I'm more private, more guarded. You know, when I first moved here, you know, I would ask people's opinions or tell them what I'm doing. And then I learned real quick that I'm just like, you don't do that here.
No.
So I feel like I'm more sneaky or guarded or something. Like I'm just, you know, I don't really go anywhere before the pandemic unless it's like for benefiting me professionally. I mean, I don't have an extravagant social life. So yeah, I think I'm just more introverted as I get older. And every day I'm getting older and I feel like I am more and more introverted every day.
And see, you can't just book by cover, because I would think you're a person who's out there all the time, you know, but you're not. That's not you at all. You're like, no, that's not me at all.
Yeah. You know? Right.
There's something to be said about being introverted and staying keeping things close to the vest. You reveal stuff for work and reveal things that are extensions of who you are. But there's something to keep to yourself and not give out to everybody.
Yeah.
Not theirs. They can't have it. They can't have it. Not theirs.
Right.
So what are some goals you'd like to have happen for you, Dominic? What are some things you're thinking about you'd like to have? You got the book, you have the podcast, you're doing modeling. What sort of things you'd like to have happen?
Well, I'd like to transition more into the acting. I have an agent for acting. I audition. I just had an audition self-tape. And but you know what? With modeling, I just know what to do. You know, the before and the during and the after. I just know the whole process. With acting, it's slightly different. So like I start freaking out and I call my manager and my agent, like I'm like, what do I do? And they're just like, you've called me 10 times today. You need to stop. And I'm just like freaking out all the time. And like one time I had a self-tape audition in COVID for an audition for a movie. And I had my roommate read and hold the camera.
Yeah.
And he was like,
oh.
And I was just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. And then I just didn't like the lighting and everything. So I sent it to my manager and I like had a nervous breakdown. I said, it's out of my hands. I'm not doing anything else with this fucking piece. So it was due the next morning at 9 a.m. It's like 6 o'clock p.m.
Yes.
now. So all of a sudden I just like sent it to him around 8 o'clock. He says, he calls me. He goes, it's awful. I can't send that. And he goes, can you do it again? I said, no, I cannot do it again. I'm done. I don't even care if I get the part. I'm done. And he goes, so then anyway, at like an hour later, 9 p.m., 12 hours until this thing is due, he calls me up and says, I have great news. And I'm like, oh, what? He's like, there's a girl. She is an actor, a working actor. And she's also an audition coach for other actors.
Oh, okay.
And he goes, I'm going to have her come to you. And I was like, okay. So she drove all the way here. She had these lights. She had a tripod. She had everything. Yes. And so she goes, okay. So she read the lines and then she goes, okay, you know your lines. You know your character. You're great. She goes, but I have some minor things, like technical things I want. She goes, at the very end, walk off camera, you know? And then I was like, okay. And then there was other things I can't remember, but so I left feeling more confident. And then my agent called me up and he said, that was the best one yet. Good job. I'm so proud of you. This is great. He goes, if you ever need somebody, call her up again. You have her number now. And we submitted it. So I haven't heard back, but I hear that they're still looking through. So
yeah, I like that. Okay,
I'd like to pursue more of that, but I think it's like anything. Practice makes perfect. So I want to keep going, but at the same time, I don't think I want to be an actor forever, because I know you'll be away for 3 months at a time, or more or less or whatever. And it's 12 hours a day, and then you have to learn pages and pages, sometimes overnight for the next day. That would give me so much anxiety.
Yes.
But, if I did have an acting career, I would like to do, like an independent film every 3 years or something. Like nothing intense.
I feel like right now you're kind of feeling things out. You're doing different things. Now
The lights change.
Now you're being sun-kissed by the sun. It's kind of cool. It's kind of cool though for me. There's it's like grabbing and I'm like, it's actually kind of cool. But it feels like you're trying things out. You're living your life. You're trying things out and seeing what's good for you.
But I can tell you though, I feel like I am more, because I was raised in like a professional family, like white collar. I think. What's white collar?
Because blue collar is more like down home. White collar is more like corporate.
I come from a family of doctors and lawyers and teachers and educators and PhDs and all this stuff, and I'm more of an artist, and I think that's one reason why I connected with my grandfather, who passed away, because he was an orthopedic surgeon by day, and he was an amateur photographer. He shot on film. He had a dark room in the basement.
Wow.
He learned Photoshop when it came out.
Yeah.
And he loved movies and he loved art, and it was interesting. I thought he was bisexual, actually. I had a shirt for my brother's graduation, and I drew balloons on it and said congratulations, and he goes, "Oh, what are those, sperm?" I was like, "No, it's a balloon."
Go on, Grandpa.
But and he like Brokeback Mountain, and he liked The Notebook and Titanic and just everything a gay person loves, and so he I don't know, it was interesting, but
that's funny.
Yeah.
Like that. What for you these, again, almost like a today question, what does being gay mean to you these days?
What does being gay mean? Well, I think I remember, I don't know if this still happens or if I'm in a different class of people, but when I came out very young.
Okay.
And everyone would say, when I first started meeting other gay people and stuff, they'd be, "Oh, are you a top or a bottom?" And I just think that is so tacky. I mean, it's really tacky.
I agree.
And now I don't hear it anymore. And I'm like, maybe it's because I'm in a different class of people, or maybe it's like something that was back then, not now. Yeah.
Yeah, but for you, being gay, it's who you are. Should we be more political? Should we be more like, what do you think we should be these days?
I mean, look, I actually, back in New York, someone said, "Oh, you should you should meet this guy. He's a big agent of like big stars and stuff, and you guys, would be great to meet each other, and he's very connected." And so I said, okay. So I met with him. I had lunch with him, and he said, "Don't tell anybody you're gay anymore." And I said, "Why?" And he's like, "Because you don't want the industry to put you in a box." And he goes, "Look," he says, "I'm gay myself." He said, "I'm gay." He's like, "It's fine." It's just not good for booking jobs. And so for a long time, I didn't talk about it. I didn't admit to it. And it's like I went back into the closet. And even now, if someone asks me, "Are you gay?" I just say, "Are you?"
I like that.
Because I'm like, what does it matter?
Right.
I don't say, "Do you, what do you like?"
Right.
Do you like, hamburgers or hot dogs? It's like, why ask that? It's so stupid. Can't you hear it in my voice? Take a hint, right? Shit.
But it's funny. People want verbal confirmation for things. They want to figure you out. They can think that, but they want to know. They want to make sure they know who you are. It makes them more comfortable. Not yet, nothing to do with you. It makes them more comfortable if they can figure you out and know who you are, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm so over it.
I was dating somebody, and my mom started dating. So this is years ago,
Okay.
and my mom is starting to date somebody who she's been with for a while now, and so basically, I brought my person, and we had dinner with my mother and her person, and I met him for the first time, and he says to my mom, "I didn't know your son was gay," and I was like, "Excuse me?" He laughed. My mother laughed. My mom's boyfriend was, he's just normal, but I just looked at him and I was like, "Don't ever say that again." And I was like, "Why would you? What if I was in the closet and you just said that?"
Oh,
And
right.
he's
Oh,
like,
that's right.
and then he was just like, "Oh, and then my mom's like, he's like, "Why didn't you tell me?" And my mom's like, "Why would I tell you? This relationship is not about him. It's
Right.
about us. What am I supposed to say? Oh, by the way, my son's gay."
Right.
And my mom goes, if he had a problem with it, then he would go, not you.
But
He would be the
right.
one.
Right, exactly.
And I go, if he had a problem with it, I wouldn't give a shit because I'm not living with you. It's like it's not my relationship. I don't care.
Right. I know.
But
it's mostly, again, trying to figure you out. Like, now he figured you out. Like, I didn't know you were gay. Like, I didn't know. It's like, well, when would that come up? We're dating. We're trying to get to know each other. When would I say, oh, and, you may say I have kids. You may say I have a son. But
yeah, she does. Yeah.
Right. You would say that. But I mean, like.
Right. But what does being gay mean to me?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. I was kind of curious. Somebody asks people. I mean, ask people nowadays what do you feel like.
Yeah, I definitely am told on a regular basis that what does being gay mean? It means nothing. It's just an extension of who you are, what you like, But I'm told on a regular basis I have to change my voice. Bring it down here. How you doing, baby? What's up?
Oh my God.
I have to do that, and it's just so weird. I don't want to talk like that.
No, of course not.
I just want to be myself,
That isn't you could do it though. It's very interesting. I just caught me off guard. Like, you can do it, I guess. Kind of
interesting. Yeah, bro. The fuck you looking at, man? Don't ever fucking say that to me again, bro. Don't look at my girl.
Oh my God, that's actually very convincing. Like, wow, okay. Like, yeah. Okay, I didn't expect that. God. That's so funny. But then again, that's also the thing too, that being gay is many things. It's everything and nothing. It's what I mean? It's everything and nothing. It's like everybody else. It's just happened you're attracted to somebody different than somebody else attracted to. I mean, that's really. I'm noticing as I get older, there's a lot more sameness we have in the world than difference. We make it different, but it's not that difference. It's all basically the same. It's like almost all relationships are all the same. You can switch out genders, but the basics are all the same.
I do think gay people are kinkier than straight people.
No. Okay, let me. I feel like this is your show right now, Jabber. Let me give you a question though. Is it that because gay folks are allowed to be more open about it?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Straight folks are very repressed about it because I feel like straight folks have a certain image.
Well, I think it's testosterone and testosterone. Boom. I don't know.
Well,
women are like, you know what? Don't do that. Like, that's gross. You can't put it in the butt tonight. Only on your birthday.
But come on, Dominic. For some reason, 50 Shades of Grey got all those sucker moms.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I know.
But you know what I mean? So I'm wondering if that's.
Listen, I'm dealing with a soccer mom now who's got
That's my question. She's like, it's in there for them.
I don't know.
Not allowed to be let out. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a straight woman, so I'm just.
I don't know either. Yeah, I just do think like gay men are more experimental and do crazier things than women, and women don't even know about it. They're like, straight men don't even know about it. things that I don't even know about. But I'll tell you though, I have this soccer mom right now trying to get in my pants, basically.
What? Really?
Yeah.
And she knows.
She's always like, oh, yeah, she knows.
Who you are.
She knows.
Okay.
She doesn't care. She doesn't care. But she'll just be like, hi.
That's hilarious. Oh my God.
And I'll just be like, hi.
We ain't going any further. Ain't going any further than that. That's hilarious. I know that's a good question for another show. I think about that because I wonder if just straight folks are just repressed and feeling they have to live this kind of image to not let it out so much, or is it because it's two guys together? I mean, maybe. I mean, I know they always
I don't know.
Are much more sensitive and more sensual. They say.
Who?
They say women are. They're more sensual. They're more in tune. They say that in general.
No, I don't think so. I think women are more nurturing.
There's that. There is that. Yes.
I think women are nurturing. They want to. I mean, I think women would rather cook you dinner and show
go down on you. Cook you dinner, then go down on you instead of just like go down on you.
I don't know. I don't even think women are like that. I mean, I think there's younger girls. I mean, I guess it's generational because I know my mother's generation, my grandmother's generation, they were not, I mean, I don't hear women around that age talking like that, but women today, younger women, even in their teenagers, girls, they're more wild. And I don't know if that's just being young or if that's just, I don't know, if it's youth or just this generation of being more open about it.
Well, in this whole generation of WAP, that song, came out. That song came out and it was very explicit. I mean, my generation, we had Foxy Brown, Little Kim. I was like, that's what we kind of had. They were explicit on some level, but like this one, we just put it all out there, just waiting by the title.
My mother's generation didn't have any of that.
Exactly.
So my mom, if I would tell my mom about it or something, or send her the song, my mom would be like, "That is disgusting. Mm-hmm. That is revolting."
Yes.
And I'm just like, and she doesn't even like it. She says the P word.
Oh, how funny.
She goes, "Let's call it by its anatomical name, vagina."
But see, my mother was a hippie, so she called about pussies and everything. That's always they walked around naked when I was a kid. I mean, they didn't care. They were hippies. So I mean, we knew body parts when I was like, just coming out of the
I come from very prim and proper background.
Yeah.
And you have to. I remember, they used to put me in little tuxedos and stuff as a kid, and I would like rip it off and be like, "Fuck you."
I walk around barefoot. I walk around barefoot, no shirt on. It's baby.
Oh my!
That kind of stuff. I always want a shirt off. I'm like, I don't know. Now I keep my clothes on, but back then, I didn't. That's really fun. It's actually a very interesting thought, Dominic. I'm gonna have to explore that in a show one day because I'm really curious if that's something that are straight folks really just not as adventurous as gay folks or queer folks? Say queer.
Well, I met somebody and he had just come out of the closet and he didn't know anything, and I kind of liked that.
Okay.
I'm gonna be that guy at 40 years old who's got an 18-year-old boyfriend. Okay, and I'm gonna be telling them all this shit.
Oh,
so
I love it.
I mean, when I was 18, I was going for older, like 45, 50. And then I'm just like, I will never go younger. I hate young people. And then I'm thinking even younger people are fine. They're less fucked up.
Well, they're untouched. Like literally. I think what it is, Dominic, there's something, obviously you speak for yourself, but I feel like there is something about their wide-eyed innocence, their eagerness.
And you want to protect them,
Yes, you want to protect them.
But I do know this guy who he's a little younger, came out of the closet like 2 months ago, and he knows nothing. And he comes from that straight world. Yeah. So I was like, oh my goodness, like, see, these straight people don't know all this stuff. Yeah. And it's like, I don't even want to tell them. I kind of like that.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, my whole thing back in the day was that being gay was something that you want to be different. That thank God you don't have to be like straight people. That's what gay was back in the day. It was more like you have the freedom to make up whatever you want because you're gay. If you want the strict kind of heteronormative lifestyle, you can have that too. Right. You can marry them because you can have that too, but also you don't have to have that. I remember when gay marriage went through. Also, I was like, I like the right to not get married. You know, I want that. I mean, I want the right to go through, but also that means I want the right to not get married. Also, like that was a whole big thing. Was like being gay was something that you could be over here and see you're way different than these people. They're all stuck over here. You know, just walking like robots. I can be whatever I want over here. That's what I remember. That's what gay was at one point. They kind of changed somewhat. I think I understand that. I understand there were things and rights that needed to have happened. So you kind of have to I hate the word normalize. You kind of have to like appropriate a little bit of what the straight side is to get there. But you know, I want to lose. Let's not lose the queer. Let's not lose that. You know, be whatever you know, be whatever you want. I think there's something there with that.
Yeah.
You know, it's like crazy. I don't know. So Dominic, you're to me again. You're hilarious. Got good head on your shoulders.
That's it. We're done.
It's been almost an hour.
Oh my gosh!
I know.
What else are we going to talk about? I mean, there's so much.
What else you want? What else you want? You think you want to bring anything you want to bring up? We can talk about. You anything you want to bring up?
No, I don't think so.
We talked about LA. We talked about New York. You gave shade to San Francisco, and then which I love shade. It's always cooler than shade. Well, we talked about what you want. Kind of, you want to get more into acting and try that out. You have a book out. But I'm just wondering. I mean, but relationship wise, are you just out there dating? There's something. Are you just like?
No, let me tell you something though. I'll tell you. I don't like dating. I don't. I am like.
What's your idea?
75-year-old man. I am like a 75-year-old man in the body that I'm in, and you know, I want to have tea at night, and I want to, go to bed alone, and I want to watch TV and
watch whatever you want to watch. Or it's my TV. I want to watch. I want to watch.
Yeah, but I have gone out with people. Yeah. But I'm not saying this. Like some people do this because they're jealous or something, and it comes out in one way. But I genuinely mean it. When I'm walking down the street and I see like guy and girl or guy and guy or whatever holding hands, I don't even want to make eye contact. I'm just like, oh my gosh. Like I've had people in a taxi cab try to grab my leg, like someone I was with.
Oh, really? Okay.
But like just put their hand on my leg, massage my knee and stuff. And I'm like, this is me in the chair. He's over here. And then here's the window, right? And then he's like starts massaging my leg, and I'm like, I just feel so uncomfortable. I'm just so like, funny. I don't like the public displays. One time I was going out with somebody, and we were sleeping, and he was like, the next day, he was like, "Do you remember what you did last night?" And I go, "No, what?" He's like, "Last night when you were sleeping, I tried to hug you and put my arm around you, and you elbowed me in the stomach to get off of me." Oh my God. I said, "I don't remember that, but you probably woke me up or got me all hot or something."
I would say though, sometimes it's heat. Some folks generate a lot of heat. I generate a lot of heat of my own. So I always tell people it's not you. Sometimes just because I get hot when I sleep under the covers.
But then we're still friends, me and the guy. So he started going out with somebody. And I was like, "So how's that going?" and everything. And he was like, "Oh, well, it's going good. We hold each other all night, something we didn't do." I go, "Well, good for you. I'm happy for you."
How'd you found that?
I want somebody who falls in love with me and they say, "Move into my mansion. You can sleep on that corridor and I'll sleep in this corridor. And we can meet in the dining room for breakfast and lunch and dinner, and then we can go about our day."
That's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Here's another thing. This is so bad. So bad. I was on a date, and he picked me up to go to Runyon
Oh yeah,
to go hike.
Everybody
To go.
The famous Runyon Canyon hike. If you guys that's in California, in Los Angeles.
So first of all, I'm in the car. I get a phone call from a guest who's supposed to be a guest on on the show, and so I was like, oh, I have to take this, and we were driving. He goes, no problem. So I answered. I'm like, yeah. We were just talking and talking for like 1 hour. He was sitting outside Runyon parking, and we were just sitting there. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. 1 second.
Oh my.
And he was like, I was just like, I'm sorry. And, and then all of a sudden, I was just like telling, so after the conversation, we were still on the phone. And the guy goes, are we going to go hiking? And I said, just drive me home. And I was still on the phone the whole way home.
Oh
and
oh my God. Oh my God.
I just don't think I'm cut out for it. I'm focused on my career. I'm focused on a lot of projects right now. And I mean, I guess that's why they say I'm quirky or something. But I mean, who goes on a date and takes a business call the whole fucking time?
But it's so hard, Dominic, because there's time, seriously, even when with family or friends or whatever, when that call comes through, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I mean, it come through at 6 p.m., it come at 9 in the morning. I mean, I got to take it sometimes. I have to take it. I see those soaps and stuff, like, I got to take this call. But sometimes I really got to take that call sometimes. And it is kind of tough because you don't want to be disrespectful to somebody else. You don't want to be. I mean, there's no reason to be disrespectful. You don't want to. Yeah. But you got to take the call will last as long as it lasts sometimes. And you're like,
just take me home. But I went out with this other guy who took me to Runyon as well. And he picked me up and we went to Runyon and we actually walked up. And as we were walking, I was like, and I had like this nice outfit on and everything. And I was just like, oh. He's like, what's wrong? I was like, I can't do this. He's like, but you're in shape. And I'm like, no, I'm not.
I know, I got it. So funny. Well, the thing is, some folks who work out, cardio is something different. I do it all the time. There's some folks who are strict cardio folks who can't work out as strong, and there are folks who work out with weights and stuff.
Listen, I do everything. I just can't even open a jar of pickles or climb a mountain, okay? They're two different things. There's functional, and then there's non-functional.
I did the Runyon thing one time. I was like, I think I'm done. I know that's the thing to do. I'm going to Runyon. I'm like, screw all that. I mean, that's you go for a hike, have a good time. I'll meet you afterwards down at the Starbucks. I mean, I'm just not.
One of my favorite date, and since I've been in LA, and I really screwed that one up. I go. He picks me up, and as I'm coming out of my building, we have glass doors. So as I was pushing the doors open, he's like in the middle of the street, so I can see him before I open the doors. And when he sees me coming out the doors, he gets out of the car, comes to the other side, opens the door, and goes, "Hello, my king." And I was like, so then he like pulls out flowers. He gives me flowers. Wow. And I said to him, this is where I messed up. I go, are you bisexual? And he goes, no, why? I go, oh, because only bi guys buy flowers. Because they're used to doing that for women, not men.
Oh my God. There's some romantic men out there. Hello, for men.
And then, so anyway, I got home, and then we went to Griffith Observatory, and we went up, and it was like really hot, and I'm very fair skinned, so I burn easily. So I was just like, I need to be in the shade. And he's just like, oh, my king, where do you want to go? Like, let's go lay in the shade. I've brought a blanket. And I said, actually, I just want to go home. Can you bring me home? So then, oh my gosh. So he's just like, okay, my king, I'll bring you home. So then I took the flowers and I just set them on the counter in my bathroom, and they just died, shriveled up and died. I'm like, don't ever get me flowers again. But surprisingly, he wanted to see me again.
Hey.
And so he was actually a singer, songwriter. So, and he's on Spotify and everything. I would listen to his music, but I was just like, oh, I want someone to write a song about me. Hopefully it's not like You're So Vain or something like Carly Simon. But I was like, I said, when, what inspires your music? And he was like, heartbreak and falling in love.
Oh, either.
And
Yeah.
I go, oh my gosh. I said, well, do you want to fall in love with me or do you want me to break your heart? Like, which one? And I was like, I said, I don't want just a song. I want the whole album.
Hey, concept album.
Right.
Dominic.
So,
Exactly.
and then that could be the entire relationship from beginning to end. And then we publish it after. So, but he took me on this date and we went we went to the dog park with his dog. And then he invited me over. He made me steak and salad. And I just really liked that. But we just fizzled out, And I never got my song.
You got your song or your album. You got neither. Didn't happen.
No.
Do you keep checking though, like a Spotify? Is there a song?
I don't think it was long enough for that, but I did reach out to him and ask him to come on my podcast. And I said, you could promote your music. You'd be really great.
Okay.
And then while he's on the show, I would say something like, so, do you want to go out with me? I'll bring you flowers. I would buy him flowers now. I feel bad,
Yes, you should. Yes. Here's just being romantic. There are some folks left there out there. Not that many, but there are a few out there.
I asked my friend or the guy that I used to date that I elbowed in his sleep and my sleep. He goes, he said, I told him about the whole thing. And I go, before I told him anything, I go, yeah, he gave me flowers. And, while we were in the car, he goes, what'd you do? Throw them out the window? I was like, no, I did not.
No,
I put them in the bathroom.
Yeah,
I didn't do that.
Your mother raised you crazy. You just let them die on the counter, but you didn't throw them out the window.
I mean, I don't even think I own a vase, honestly.
Well, wait. And first of all, how many times do you get flowers? Like, I don't get flowers. Who gets flowers? I mean,
do you have a vase?
I do.
Why?
Because I do. I don't even know where I got it from. I didn't buy it. I mean, I think I got flowers once. I think I got flowers twice in the last 10 years from somebody.
I mean, you're supposed to they were still long. What is it? The stalk or something? It's really long.
Stem.
The stem? What's a stalk?
The stalks, that's something else. There's another kind of like corn stalk. Those are for thicker, heavier trees.
Well, the stem, you're supposed to trim them and trip the leaves and put it in water. And then there's this special powder you put in the water. And I'm like, I don't have time for that.
That is,
but it's the thought that counts. And it was a really special thing,
You're like, give me an edible arrangement. I'll eat that instead.
No, not even.
Oh, really? You like fruit?
What would I take?
Yeah, what would you take?
Pay my rent.
That's not something different. But yeah, but if I just wanted to give you something, if someone said, I want to bring you something, because I know some folks don't want flowers either. They go, flowers die. I don't want that. Would you want a plant? Would you want
underwear?
Okay.
Or a tank top or shorts or something.
Okay.
Or maybe, no, not even new shoes, not shoes. Yeah, see, I don't ask for a lot of things.
Right.
On my birthday, Christmas, Black Friday, my mother's always like, oh, can I get you something? And I'm like, no, I don't want anything. I don't even have a car here in LA.
Yeah.
Because I don't want a car.
Yeah.
I just get so anxious, I have no interest in driving. I don't like material things because the more you have, it's just I don't know.
It weighs
more anxiety.
Yeah. It just does. The more you
I like to pick up and go. When I was in New York, I just moved here.
Yeah. I
didn't plan it. I just came. And if I had a car, you can't do that,
No, you can't. Yeah. Where in LA are you living? I mean, I'm not sure exact address.
West Hollywood.
Oh, you're in WeHo. Okay, you're in WeHo. Do you like it?
Where are you?
I'm in Inglewood, by the airport.
Where's that? Oh, by the airport.
It's south of you. I'm by the water. I'm by the beach. I'm by the airport and Manhattan Beach.
Manhattan Beach.
Ray, all that down there. I'm by there.
Oh, yeah, I've never. I gotta tell you though, I have never left West Hollywood unless it's for a job.
All righty.
And they Uber me.
LA is spread out. I people think LA is not just little, like, New York. You can get around New York very easily, and same with San Francisco. LA is very spread out, actually. So I can't really give you side eye for that. But
no, I mean, like first, I live in a great neighborhood. Everything's walkable. Everything's here. My gym is across the street. The grocery store is across the street. Right. I've got all the boutiques shops on Melrose. I've got, some stuff on Santa Monica, my doctor's on Sunset. I've got everything in this area. And, the bars, even though I don't go to bars and I don't drink, but they're all there. Everything's here. And if I have to go somewhere for a job, they'll Uber me there. Yeah. But I'm not there. I mean, I'm there, but I'm not
there. Yeah.
I'm doing a gig and I'm going home. So I'm not seeing things, and I'm not seeing what the different neighborhoods have to offer. So I've never had a beach day since I've been here.
Oh, really? Oh, wow.
I mean, we've shot on the beach.
Yeah.
But I haven't had like a beach day.
Oh, wow.
Just for myself. Yeah.
Wow. You gotta come on down. I got a huge house. I got a garden with nothing, water. It's a different world down here. That's why I like working in Hollywood. I mean, I do. I'm in the public eye. I do all the stuff in Hollywood. I'm on TV, all the stuff. But then I come home. I come away from it.
What is the difference between this area and your area? Like
quieter, more
personality.
I feel like it's personality, number one.
What about it?
It's a little slower over here. It just see it's more. Everyone's in their own. Everybody's doing their own thing. It's much more residential down here. Not like West Hollywood residential, but like there's a lot of families down here. It's obviously.
You think there's a lot of divas over here compared to there?
Yes. Yeah. There are a lot more diversity down here. The weather's better down here. It's much cleaner. Yeah. The weather's better down here. It feels cleaner down here. Like in terms of the air. Yeah. It just feels cleaner over here.
I'm gonna record my screen now too, actually. Hold on. All right. Yeah. I'm gonna post a little clip, okay?
Okay, sure. Yeah, right.
But
it's much cleaner down here. It's quieter down here. I love the neighborhoods. The houses are different over here. Much more.
Yeah.
A lot more houses, not as many apartments.
Yeah.
I like it over here. I mean, I love the beach. I'm always at the beach. I love seeing the planes fly in. I mean, I love that. It's just a different vibe down here. It's just much, and that's better or worse. I mean, I just feels I like to be able, like I said, I'll work in Hollywood. Well, back when we had all this stuff, I'll work in Hollywood. I'll go to red carpets. I'll do all that stuff, and then I come home. I'm out of it.
Right. I mean, everybody tells me I'm a diva, and I'm like, I'm really not. I don't feel like I am.
Why do you think people say that you're a diva? That's a good question right there. Why do you think?
Why do I what?
Why do you think people think you're a diva?
I don't know. I would have to ask them, but do you think I'm a diva?
You have diva. No. Here's the truth about you. This is one thing from talking to you today. I like you. You're a nice guy. I think you're a nice guy, diva.
Thanks.
I like you. Great conversation. But I think what it is, you have this dual personality. It seems like, but that's at the same time. You come across as very humble. Don't like a lot of stuff. You're not flashy.
Yes, exactly.
Kind of I can tell it. And again, it's that East Coast sensibility, very direct, all that kind of stuff. But you have the other side of you, because you tell these stories are hilarious that are diva-esque kind of. Like,
really?
Don't do this. It's very much like, I like things a certain way and that's it. But
I like old Hollywood. I feel like I'm old Hollywood more. Like not new age, like certain things I'll do or say. I can't even think. People will be like, people haven't done that since the 70s. You can't do that.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying you're not typical, like I kind of think the typical Gen Z or person who's out here.
I would say though, I would have a little dog and carry it around with me with a little sweater on it or something. Like that's kind of diva.
I had one of those. I love them, so I don't care. I like. Yeah,
them. I do. And then I would push my dog in a stroller.
Actually, I would too. That's another story. But no, I can tell there's a side of you that's really real. I hate that word, but it's just that's the way I can describe it. Like you're a real person behind the pictures, behind the post. Like you're not. Yeah, I said I was so shocked. You're not a person who goes out all the time. Not a person who partakes in all the Hollywood-esque stuff. You're like, if it's not work related, you don't really do it.
I'm just like, hey, let's kick it in the bedroom. I don't want to go out.
Yeah, exactly. You're like, you're introverted, which makes sense actually for those of us who are out there in the world presenting all that you present. A lot of times, you don't want to be, you are introverted. You are kind of shy. You kind of that's a persona you can put out there. That's the real you is somebody else who's, I can tell you've been through some things and you're working them out or worked them out already, and so you have different ideas. But so I don't think you're a diva, and so I know people who are diva. I know folks who are total divas. But you're not.
I'm gonna stop my video. Yeah,
you're not there. But I can tell you have some qualities. But I think we all do. I mean, we all have qualities.
Yeah.
If left untouched, can come to fruition, I guess. But I mean, but I can tell that I've been very surprised in this interview. It's like there's something I'm like, no, he's a very down to earth kind of guy who's not living this flashy lifestyle that you just think from seeing your pictures you might be doing that. I mean, I don't know what I thought, but I feel like you're not. My expectation of you is very different than what I'm seeing.
I don't want a car, like I said, but my favorite car, if I had to choose, would be like, those old Jeep Wranglers that zip the sides and the top and everything.
Yes.
Those are like, I love that, like everybody here wants like a Ferrari or a Lamborghini or something. And I don't know. I feel like people with new money do that. I feel like old money is like more low key, but still a nice, like a Mercedes or a Bentley, maybe. I don't know.
Well, old money is, here's the thing. Old money is, we don't have to tell you we have money. We don't have to show you we have money because we have money. So you may see us in sweats and a Dodge Aspen wagon from 1979, but then you come back to our house and here's the 6-bedroom home with that's what old money is. New money is I gotta wear my money on me.
Yes.
I gotta show all of it. I gotta do everything so you can see that, so you don't forget that I have money. Where old money is like, it's almost like the whole thing about my favorite line in Paris is Burning is like, shade is when I don't have to tell you you're ugly, you're ugly. Like I don't have to tell you. That's shade. I may infer, but I don't have to tell you right out. Old money's the same thing. Old money's like, we've always had money. We just always have. So I don't have to wear it all over my body or drive it or whatever. But we have money. Don't worry, kids. We got money. If something goes down, we're taken care of. That's
how my family was. I don't know anything about their financial situation, but they never talked about money. They never drove expensive cars. They were just very low key, but very prim and proper. And some of their titles, you would assume that they would have money, but their homes, you would think they'd have money, but they didn't drive around it, or have expensive jewelry or anything.
Yeah. My mom's one of those people, she always said, I wear real stuff and fake stuff all mixed together. And that's her thing. She's like, it's pretty, I like it. Kind of thing. It's like, it doesn't matter. If I like something, I just get it and I wear it. And it's my thing. Some of it's really real and some of it isn't. That's right, girl. I like that attitude. I mean, there's things that I have in my house too that are really nice, but I don't flash them off either. And like, look at me, I own a house. I mean, I own a house. Okay, great. But I don't need to throw it in your face all the time and like reinforce that I'm better than you are because I own a house. I mean, who gives a shit? I just lucked out and got a house. You know what I mean? I think that's the kind of the attitude I like. And I feel like you have a similar attitude. Like, even if you have some nice things, who cares? You have some nice things. I mean, we all have some nice things. I mean, that's life. But I am curious to follow you and see what happens relationships wise.
Like I said on my podcast that you heard, when you fall in love, it all goes out the window.
right, exactly.
Because I can tell you right now, I have rules. I don't want to meet your friends. I don't want to meet your family. Don't call me babe, and don't touch me in public. But then the minute you actually like really are crazy for somebody, you're just like, everything that you said you wouldn't do or you can't do, you're doing it.
Oh yeah. You're saying babe all of a sudden. I hate that too. Babe.
And then I'm just like,
You're like,
make myself throw up.
Exactly. Wait a minute. Have you ever been in love?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
You
I
think?
think so. No, I think so. Well, wait, hold on. First of all, I gotta ask: is the sunlight too bad right now? Too harsh?
Actually, it's starting to. Yeah, it's starting to. It's like one side. I know it's crazy.
No. Is this gonna mess up your YouTube video?
It just won't look good on you. It won't make you look good.
Oh, it won't.
No, because it's washing you out.
Gosh. Well,
when
okay.
when you go above it, you look back to normal again. But yeah, when you look a little. I mean, it's like it's.
That's why I keep scooting around. I like to do this outside, but it's like the sun is like always changing.
Yeah.
But have I ever been in love? I think so. I think I have. There was two people I can think of, but I was always like waiting by the phone.
Funny.
I would never pick up the phone and call.
That's so funny.
I would be like a 1950s.
Exactly.
1950s housewife.
Yes.
I would be waiting by the phone. And if I didn't get a good morning message, I would be like sad all day.
So funny.
That's love. I just kidding. But I was like so depressed on the dates. And then around lunchtime, I'm like, oh, hey, good morning. Sorry, I had a busy morning or something. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, my day. It's better now. That was love. But then when I wasn't in love, but I was with somebody, I didn't care if I heard from them for 3 days.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Interesting. We'll have to unpack that next thing because I actually have to go to another interview. But Dominic,
okay, yeah.
you're the bomb, Dominic. I mean, we have to do this again. I'll come on your show anytime.
We have to.
I'll come on your show.
Yeah.
I'd love to.
But here's the thing. I just hope that your audio/video does not completely like change so much throughout the show.
I'll look at everything. I'm looking at it all. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of all that stuff. I'll look at all that stuff. But tell folks
you do editing and stuff.
I might be able to do some little something in there. You'll be fine. It'll be good.
Yeah, you'll see me like up here and then down here and then over here.
We'll work it out. But I want you to tell people before anything else, tell people where they can find you on social media.
Oh, okay. They can find me on Instagram at Dominic, Dominic, A, middle initial, Albano. Another A and then Albano. Dominic A. Albano.
Yes, I'm there. Folks, I'm James Lott Jr. It's Extra Connections. We're on every streaming service platform you can think of, audio-wise. We're on my YouTube channel, JLJ Media. Go ahead. We have a Facebook page called Extra Connection Show. You can follow me. We're all James Lott Jr.'s are sold at James Lott Jr. on all social media platforms and TikTok, folks. And so everybody, please take care of yourselves out there and be careful, be safe, wash all your surfaces, wear a mask. We'll see you next time.